A thunderous opening to the 5th Rugby World Cup in Sydney, the biggest sporting event of 2003. With a worldwide television audience of 1 billion watching, Wallaby great John Eales took centre stage before more than 700 school children formed Rocky, the rugby player. The Rugby World Choir then called the world.
And in that spirit, I have great pleasure in declaring the Rugby World Cup of 2003 officially open.
"20 nations divided into 4 pools were vying for the Webb Ellis Cup. The defending champions Australia and Argentina opening proceedings in front of 81,000 at Telstra Stadium. Then it was time for the games to begin.
Rugby World Cup 2003 is underway.
Australian centre Elton Flatley had the honour of posting the first points of the Cup, while a former Rugby League international scored the opening try.
10 metres from the goal line, cleared by Young, Rogers and Saylor. Saylor looking for the first try! He scored tries in his last 6 test matches, and Wendell Saylor gets the debut try of Rugby World Cup 2003.
The Wallabies 24-8 winners, although it was hardly an inspiring performance. The New Zealand-Italy pool match was a replay of the very first World Cup game in 1987. The All Blacks just too big and too fast, with fly half Carlos Spencer creating a bit of World Cup history with the Kiwis' 4th try just before half-time.
And it's Rokotoko at halfway, gets away from Mazzucato, and that one earns them the first bonus point in Rugby World Cup history.
The Italians celebrated as though they'd won the Cup when they scored in the second half, although the team that many favoured to actually do that proved to be in a class of their own as they ran in 11 tries in a 70-7 annihilation. As expected, the France-Fiji match proved to be one of the most entertaining of the Cup, with brilliant Fijian winger Rupini Thauthau showing the world his dazzling speed.
This is where they're dangerous. A chance for Thauthau. Just went past Rougerie. This is the fastest man in world rugby, and he's thrilled the crowd of Suncorp Stadium. Rupini Thauthau has scored an absolute gem, and he went past Rougerie as if he wasn't there.
However, Le Bleu still won easily, with Yannick Josiane the first to post a hat-trick of tries at the Cup in a 61-18 victory. The Japanese are undoubtedly one of the most popular teams at the Cup, especially in the North Queensland city of Townsville. What the Cherry Blossoms lacked in height and muscle, they more than made up for in tenacity. And they almost pulled off the first upset of the tournament against Scotland.
Here's a chance. Wonderful play. Onozawa scores a superb try.
The Scots prevailed, but Japan won the hearts of the locals and the respect of their opponents.
This is a great sight. This is what the Rugby World Cup is all about for these minnow countries who came here to compete. They knew they were going to give up tries. And look at that. The crowd have loved it.
However, as week one of the Cup continued, it was obvious the Minnows would struggle against the traditional rugby nations. Although they did have their moments of glory, and Canada obviously enjoyed their one and only try against Wales.
Can they score their first try? Oh, there's a chance. There's the ball. It's obvious to the referee as well. And who's going to come up with it? The big T-bone, they call him, Kevin Tkachuk, former gridiron and wrestling star in Canada.
The Fiji-United States match was the first cliffhanger, with the Eagles scoring in the final minute to trail by just 1 point. It was then up to their fly half, Mike Hercus, to win the game.
And he's pushed it out to the right. It's all over.
Fiji home by 1 point, but after coming so close, the USA also had the indignity of then holding the record for the longest losing streak in World Cup history, with their 9th consecutive defeat. At Telstra Dome in Melbourne, these two fans symbolised the theme for the Cup, the world in union.
And looks like some very friendly rivalry going on too. Isn't that great to see?
Although in reality, the Kiwis were a world apart, with the night belonging to All Black Mills Muliaina, who had never scored a test try before this match.
Brad Thorne, they're working it hard right to the end. He rolls it over, one-handed. Spencer's kept going, and now it's Muliaina in for 4. And how about the handling in that one?
The Australia-Romania match in Brisbane featured the quickest try in World Cup history.
That's the dream start for the boys in gold. It goes to Larkham. They move it wide to Flatley. He's straight through. Flatley scores. Surely the quickest try since Tim Horan at the 99 Rugby World Cup.
And there'd be plenty more to come as the Wallabies ran in 13 more tries in a 90 points to 8 annihilation. Meanwhile, crowd favourites Japan were up to their old tricks in Townsville, this time against France.
Konia! Straight through! What a try! Japan!
The French, though, were never in serious trouble as they piled on the points in the second half, although the biggest roar came when the plucky Japanese crossed late in the match.
Konia! Up from fullback, Kurihara! Pass over on the far side, Daisuke Ohata! They're on their feet here. The crowd favourite is in the corner, and that's as good a try as you'll get.
Prince Harry was among the 43,000 at Subiaco Oval in Perth for the first heavyweight clash of the tournament between England and South Africa. The best on earth are in Perth was how the match was billed, and one of the game's very best, Johnny Wilkinson, played a key role in helping England to a crucial victory.
How good is that? You can't get it any better.
Although it was Lewis Moody's charge down that was the decisive play of the match.
Kun's kick charge down. The try's on here for Greenwood. Soccer skills. Well, his dad'd be happy.
Louis Kuhn, as we see Lewis Moody leaving the ground, arms at length, and all Will Greenwood had to do was just keep control of the ball, and he was patient, waited for the bounce to score his 28th test try.
There was one more near upset before week one was over, with Tonga giving Wales a big scare. With 2 minutes remaining, Tonga's massive prop crashed over.
Vaki in there working hard. Martins away to the biggest man in the team, and it's Lavaka who is over, and the try is awarded.
Wales held on, but only just, with Tonga scoring 3 tries to 2. Week 2 of the Rugby World Cup began with the Scots having to work overtime to secure a win over the United States in Brisbane.
Blair, beautifully picked up by Townsend. A cut-out pass that's given width, and now the straight run that was so important. Great run this time by Daniele, and he's going to go in again, as he did against the Japanese in Townsville.
Meanwhile, Fiji again lived up to their reputation as the entertainers of World Rugby with some spectacular tries against Japan.
Now it's Delisau. Look for his step. Willamani Delisau. Oh. And again, that final pass didn't really hit the target, but it's play on, and Tuilemu pins the ears back. And Tuilemu made something out of nothing.
Japan's fly half Andrew Miller became the only player to claim a full house at the Cup. A penalty, a drop goal, a try and a conversion in the same match. Although Fiji's fullback was the star in his team's 41-13 victory.
Nieri. Kick and chase. Will it stay in the field of play? This could be a sensational try.
No lack of passion when New Zealand and Tonga faced off for their traditional challenges. That may have finished all square, but not the game, as the Kiwis went on a 13-try rampage.
Marshall cut out pass. Carter. Now McDonald. And Howlett has to stop. Kick back in field. Oh, great skill. Carter gets the fan going. What a try! There was absolutely nothing on there, but they are so dangerous from broken play, the All Blacks.
Muliaina added another try to his highlight reel.
Spencer, Carter, Marshall, Spencer again. Oh, Muliaina so light on his feet. Still going, Mills Muliaina. 4 tries earlier against Canada, and now he's got 1 against Tonga.
The South Africa-Georgia match was undoubtedly one of the best in the pool stage. The Springboks were held to a 24-6 lead at half-time. After the break came a bit of World Cup history.
Here we go. And they love the driving maul. Will this be it? They're over! Georgia get their first try. And it looks like it's a little hooker. Dadunashvili, the hooker. Historic moment for Georgia. And the crowd.
The new king of Georgia. The crowd's gone berserk.
Incredibly, that left the Georgians just 13 points down, and for a time they took it right up to one of the giants of World Rugby. 2 late tries by South Africa put the issue beyond doubt. But it was the Georgians' stirring performance that will be long remembered.
And they are getting a standing ovation.
Okatutse would be saying to the team, look around the crowd and enjoy this moment.
The first meeting between Australia and Namibia was also the first rugby test to be played at the Adelaide Oval, better known as a cricket ground. And unfortunately for the Africans, the Wallabies would post a cricket score.
Offside, Mark.
Mortlock just swatting them away like flies.
The bonus point for scoring 4 tries came only after 12 minutes. And just before the break, Wallaby fullback Chris Latham made it 69-0 to become only the second player in World Cup history to score 4 tries in one half.
Sharp, Latham and Whittaker. Now Rogers. And there it is for Latham again. Well, they're making a mockery of this Namibian defence.
The century was cracked in the 54th minute. The 142-0 scoreline rewriting the record books. The Wallabies' highest score ever, the biggest winning margin in World Cup history. 22 tries, also a new cup record. Matt Rogers' 42 points, a new Australian record. So too his 16 conversions. While Latham also had something to celebrate.
Takiri setting it up for him. He's going for 5 tries. And there it is, an Australian record for Chris Latham.
A crucial pool match in Canberra where Italy and Wales effectively battled for a quarter-final berth. In a tight match, the Azzurri led early before the Welsh opened up an 11-point lead just before the break.
Here is Sweeney to the 22. Oh, brilliant tackle on him by the fullback, and now Harris gives an excellent pass, and it's Parker.
63 minutes in, a third Welsh try guaranteed them a spot in the quarters. Italy on their way home. Almost 80,000 present for the France-Scotland match, which would decide who topped their pool. It'd be no contest, with the French back row at their brilliant best.
Manya makes the break. Gives it now to Nordique. Pops it over to Batson. Wonderful work there by the French loose forwards. That's what they can do to you.
The Scots simply had no answer to the power, pace and creativity of the French as they routed Scotland 51-9. In the process, heralding they'd be a major contender for the title.
Oh, this is good. Kick and chase by Bruce. Try time. Individual skills by the fullback, Nicholas Bruce.
There was also much at stake when Argentina and Ireland met in Adelaide. The Pumas had to win, or they too were out of contention. But a poor line-out throw would allow Ireland to lead at half-time.
That was Fernandez-Lobe. Keith Woods. Here it is for Quinlan. Coletto. Quinlan, yes! Alan Quinlan.
After the restart, Argentina hit the front thanks to a stunning drop goal by Ignacio Coletto.
Coletto drop goal. He's hit it pretty well. It's close. Bravo, Los Pumas.
Oh, and don't they like it?
However, 2 more Irish penalties would seal the victory and avenge their loss to the Pumas in a quarter-final playoff at the '99 World Cup. Highly fancied England were expected to dispose of Samoa with little trouble. But history showed it was wise to expect the unexpected from the Pacific Islanders, and that proved to be the case once again.
This is a great build-up by Samoa. Va. Fanalua got it away again. Faasavalu. Chance for Satini. Oh, what a start. What a start for Samoa.
Down 10-0, England were rattled, with coach Clive Woodward not impressed, until finally his forward pack delivered.
Try time. Neil back.
Try has been awarded. Neil back.
Incredibly though, the #1 team in the world trailed by 3 at the break. With 18 minutes remaining, Samoa was still in front. But Wilkinson came to the rescue, firstly with a drop goal, and then this.
Wilkinson kicking to the far side.
Oh, brilliant.
Balshaw.
Brilliant.
Beautiful try. Try awarded. No doubt that he was onside.
The third week of the Cup kicked off with the American Eagles finally breaking their losing streak in their last pool match against Japan.
But they continue to go forward, and now Elof. They're not tackling tonight, the Japanese, and Elof is going to race away and score the second try.
Their captain, Dave Hodges, produced one of the tackles of the tournament.
And gives it now to Miller. He turns it into Ponio, and here was hammered.
Oh my goodness. Oh my, another former American football star.
Once again, the Cherry Blossoms went down fighting, with their star winger getting one last chance to show his amazing speed.
Sonoda, Ohata, he's got speed to burn. The superstar winger, Daisuke Ohata, is in again, and don't they love him? Not only here in Gosford, right across Asia.
The final pool match for Fiji and Scotland was a do-or-die encounter. The winner advanced to the quarterfinals, the loser was out. And that man, Thou gave Fiji a flying start.
Here is Little on the loop. Nice work by Tuilevu. Thou. Oh, that is a wonderful, wonderful try for the man who is coming back. He is well back.
Just before half-time, he was away again, and it looked like the Scots would be making an early exit from the cup.
Now here is Sawambu. Now here's trouble. Thou. Unbelievable. Logan is coming across, but give it to Thou.
However, in the second half, Fiji tired noticeably, and with less than 5 minutes remaining, the scores were level.
And now Douglas, they drive for the line. The referee is trying to have a look. And he says, try. And it's Tom Smith.
Patterson converted to make it 22-20. Scotland through to the quarters. South Africa played Samoa in another knockout match, but after their heroics against England, the Samoans were soundly thrashed by the Springboks.
Good clean out. And the Westhausen Smith dummies. John Smith out to Johan Smith. Try time again. Fourth try, bonus point.
But while beaten, their veteran centre, Brian Lima, ensured his team would go out with a bang.
Up over halfway he goes. Oh! What about the tackle from Brian Lima?
Oh, that's a car accident.
Melbourne was the venue for the crucial pool match between Australia and Ireland. The winner would play the underperforming Scots in the quarters. The loser would meet the in-form French. The Wallabies jumped away to a good start.
Now Larkham. Numbers here for Australia. The try's on. It has to be for Rock. And George Smith. Rock could have scored himself. First try to the Wallabies.
Penalties kept Ireland in touch before a scintillating finish by star centre Brian O'Driscoll. A sideline conversion by Ronan O'Gara helped Ireland get back within 1 point.
14-13.
In the final minutes, it all came down to this attempt by drop goal specialist David Humphries.
Drop goal! Humphries! Has he done it? Just out to the right.
The second last pool match of the tournament was a mismatch between England and Uruguay. But the South Americans' hulking prop provided one moment to savour in the second half.
Driving it forward is a big problem. What a try. Pablo Lamure goes into the history books. The sixth try scored by Uruguay in this World Cup.
England ran in 17 tries, with their fullback setting a new try-scoring record for England at the World Cup.
The runners queuing up.
Now Lucy, try number 5 for the fullback for England.
The 111-13 romp was also a cup record-winning margin for England. 80,000 at Telstra Stadium for the 40th and final pool match between New Zealand and Wales. And they witnessed one of the most inspirational performances of the tournament. The All Blacks were expected to make short work of the Welsh, who hadn't beaten the Kiwis in 50 years. And the way New Zealand started, that record looked safe.
Brad Thorne takes 2 to bring him down. Numbers here on the left. Hallett's there. And so is Rokotoko. His third try of the tournament. Welcome back, the Rocket Man.
However, the Welsh Dragon roared.
And now Jones the prop. Chances on. Thomas was too slow. There were 3 men over. It's still there. Taylor, here's a try. Mark Taylor from the Llanelli Scarlets.
The All Blacks responded with a try by Ali Williams after a perfect cross kick by fly half Carlos Spencer.
Cross kick.
Here it is for Ali Williams, the big fellow. Can he play Aussie rules? New Zealand rules.
But again, Wales hit back with their elusive winger Shane Williams playing a starring role.
This is Williams. Oh, what a step! How about that? Shane Williams. He's guessed them. And here it comes for Shankland. Oh, wonderful. The Kiwis got it. Sonny Parker against the men in black.
When the Welsh captain Colin Charvis jumped over to score approaching half-time, the All Blacks lead was just 4. Then early in the second half, the team denigrated as a mere development side hit the front.
Here it comes. Thomas. There it is. It's that man Williams. And Wales have hit the lead. Unbelievable circumstances here.
However, the Kiwis' extra fitness and strength proved to be the difference in the final stanza. They powered away to set up a quarter-final meeting with South Africa. But before we get to the quarter-finals, here's how all the nations finished in the pool stage, with the top 2 teams through to the knockout section. Australia topped Pool A from Ireland, Argentina finished 3rd, then Romania and Namibia. France scored a maximum 20 points from their 4 matches, including 4 bonus points. Scotland finished 2nd from Fiji, the USA and Japan. England headed Pool C from South Africa, Samoa, Uruguay and Georgia, while New Zealand also scored a maximum 20 points in Pool D, ahead of Wales, Italy, Canada and Tonga. So now to the knockout stage, and Melbourne hosted the first quarter-final between New Zealand and South Africa. Penalties apiece and the scores were level until Carlos Spencer cut through.
Now Spencer searching for an opening and he's found it. Carlos Spencer. Support looms on the inside, McDonald. Superb All Black try. Leon McDonald.
Approaching the break, Jerry Collins cleaned up Tinas Delport, but neither team was able to make a major impact on the scoreboard until the Kiwis hooker broke through midway through the second half.
Broke the line. What a reward. What a reward for Kevin Mialamu.
Some enormous defence kept the Springboks out, and it was another piece of Spencer magic that ensured the Kiwis were through to the semi-finals with a 29-9 victory.
Spencer makes it so easy. He put it on a platter there, but someone's got to tell Spencer, when he's hot, he's absolutely hot. The bench goes wild, but he's just got to say, no one likes a smarty pants. You shouldn't be doing that sort of stuff on the international stage.
Corey, big disappointment for South Africa in the Springbok side. The sort of same commitment that you guys have showed against Samoa lacked today.
Yeah, I don't think the commitment lacked. I think that we couldn't get our hands on the ball. And, credit to them, they played really well. I haven't played against All Black side that's played like that in the past. They knew what they were doing out there and they were very physical. And we couldn't get our hands on the ball. You can't play rugby without the ball.
Australia and Scotland met in the second quarter-final in Brisbane, with the Wallabies favoured to win and win well. However, that was far from the reality. The Scots stayed with the host nation, and at half-time, it was all tied up at 9-all, thanks to a booming drop goal.
Drop goal attempt. It's a big one. It's a good one. What about that? Patterson levels the scores.
It remained all square until Wallaby centre Sterling Mortlock turned a half chance into a 55-metre try.
And War has pinched it. Harrison, Mortlock, himself, all the way. Sterling Mortlock gets a breakout. And the Wallabies take the lead.
Nearing the halfway mark in the second half, a Scottish line-out mistake resulted in the Wallabies' second try.
He's beaten 7 players here. He's hungry. Gitto on the right. Gregan taps ahead. George Gregan. Opportunism there from the Australian skipper.
David Lyons scored Australia's third to ensure their progress to the semis. The final score, 33-16.
For 40 minutes, you were certainly right in the match. Did you believe you could cause an upset?
Oh, yes, definitely. I mean, I know you have to rely on things going your way. No missed tackles, no little things, and we missed a couple. They capitalised, and that's international rugby at this level. Disappointing, but you have to get on with it.
It was back to Melbourne for the third quarter final between two-time finalist France and Ireland, who had never made it past the quarters. And the way the French started, it was evident that trend would continue.
Michalak again, angling it away. This is space. Pressure on the fullback. Coming with Dorky. Try time. Olivier Magna. What a great French try to start this quarter-final.
Fundamental infringements prevented the Irish from building any worthwhile pressure. And nearing the 30-minute mark, a backline error cost them another 7 points.
O'Gara, undisciplined pass. Clever play, Ibanez. Betson, Dominici, he will have too much pace. Second try to the French. Fourth try in the World Cup for Dominici.
It was all too easy for Le Bleu, and by half-time the contest was all but over, with Ireland trailing 27-0. There was more of the same in the second half, until an Irish flourish added some respectability to the scoreline.
Keith Wood, Ireland captain, a hugely disappointing end to your World Cup.
Yeah, very disappointing. I don't know, we just didn't play in the first half. It's really disappointing, but I think we can hold our heads up. We tried very hard in the second half, and we tried very hard.
A balmy night in Brisbane for the last quarter-final between England and Wales. The English had twice been eliminated at this stage in previous cups, and that prospect again reared its head as Wales took it right up to the world's #1 ranked team.
This is Cooper. Robinson in front. Jones, Thomas. Has to be a try if he holds on. And there it is for Jones! One of the tries of the tournament!
When Welsh captain Colin Charvis stormed over to open up a 10-3 lead at the break, the English supporters were in shock, including Prince Harry. 4 minutes after the break, the brilliance of Jason Robinson supplied some much-needed relief.
Oh, he's gassed him. What a burst by Robinson. He has Greenwood outside. Did he hit the corner post?
Yeston Harris had to make the tackle on him, and Will Greenwood, that's try time.
The unerring boot of Wilkinson gave England a 15-point advantage, but just when the contest looked over, a pinpoint cross kick helped Wales get back within 8.
Must go left, plenty of room, left-hand side.
Is the kick good? Williams! It's there for Wales! Surely! The other Williams got it!
But England survived to set up a semi-final clash with arch-rivals France.
Colin Charvis, you must be very disappointed, but can you take pride from your team's performance here this evening?
I think we're glad that throughout the tournament we've improved our performances week by week, but unfortunately this was a one hurdle that we couldn't get over, and the guys are very disappointed in the result. We thought we had a good chance, especially going in at half-time, but unfortunately England showed they were a bit too strong for us in the second half.
So now the Rugby World Cup was down to the semi-finals. New Zealand and Australia in semi-final 1, England and France in the second semi. A warm night in Sydney for the first semi-final between trans-Tasman rivals Australia and New Zealand. The All Blacks were hot favourites to advance to the final against either France or England. But right from the opening kickoff, the Wallabies showed their hand, running the ball on every occasion.
And again they elect to run and surprise New Zealand. Rogers. He beat a couple of tackles, so very adventurous play from the Wallabies in the early stages.
The Wallabies' defence in the opening minutes was equally impressive, with Rugby League converts Wendell Saylor and Lottie Takiri making try-saving tackles.
New Zealand finally getting their hands on the ball. They have a big overlap. Howlett! Buliaina! Did he get it down?
He didn't have control of that.
The Kiwis started to look dangerous again before Australia's outside centre plucked a Carlos Spencer pass.
Mortlock! They are going to make hard work of it. Rokitoko's chasing, but he can give up. Mortlock gets the first try.
2 Elton Flatley penalties made it 13-0, but approaching half-time, New Zealand pounced on a Wallaby turnover.
Loose work there, overlap New Zealand. Here comes Rokitoko out wide. Spencer running away from support. They can still do it. And there it is for New Zealand. A simple turnover by Australia, and the skipper, Reuben Thorne, hits back for the Blacks.
Flatley extended the defending champions' buffer in the second half. The All Blacks desperately needed a try to get back in the contest, but they were met with equally desperate defence.
To Howlett. Copybook tackle there by Elton Flatley.
But Howlett just ran across field, invited the Wallabies to take him, and Flatley took the invitation and took him across the sideline.
As the clock wound down, the Kiwis started to lose their composure.
10th phase for New Zealand. Spencer now. Bad pass. It's not happening for New Zealand.
Frustrated, New Zealand infringements flowed freely, and as full-time neared, Wallaby captain George Gregan advised All Blacks replacement half Byron Callagher his team would have to wait 4 more years to have another crack at winning the World Cup.
And look at George Gregan saying to Byron Callagher, thank you very much.
In the end, New Zealand simply had nothing left to offer. The much-maligned Wallabies had triumphed against the odds.
He blows his whistle, and the Wallabies are the first team in history to qualify for 3 Rugby World Cup finals. They have just smothered New Zealand out of this game, 22-10.
Reuben Thorne, the All Blacks chasing a finals berth. Describe for us the match that ends a dream tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty heartbreaking, you know. Can't really fault the preparation. We thought we'd we worked well during the week, but they got away to a great start and just defended, and we just couldn't get back. And they showed a lot of character tonight. They've been bagged a lot, but they came out fighting and showed what a good side they really are.
A stormy night in Sydney for the second semi-final, with Northern Hemisphere rivals England and France vying for the right to play Australia in the final.
Galtier and Johnson. Johnson for England. The French aiming for their 3rd World Cup final, England their 2nd.
Not surprisingly, there was plenty of passion in the opening minutes.
Well, there's a fair battle going on, the two coming at it. Johnson pointing to his eyes. Dominici saying, I wouldn't get up there with this step ladder.
The first points came 9 minutes in through England's sharpshooter Johnny Wilkinson.
Wilkinson now on his right foot. He has done it, and first points for England.
But England didn't enjoy the lead for long, with outstanding French flanker Serge Betson spearing over 2 minutes later.
Held it brilliantly, Serge Betson! Did he get it down?
Well, Jason Robertson came from nowhere, and that looks like try time for France.
Smashing defence dotted the next 15 minutes before a trip on Jason Robertson by French winger Christophe Dominici cost him 10 in the bin.
Cat got it away to Robertson. Referee says it was a bit of a trip there. He flung out his knee.
Was not accidental.
Clive saying send him off.
With England dominating field position, Wilkinson took every opportunity to pile on the points.
Wilkinson, another right foot drop kick. He's 2nd of the match, and it's England in the lead.
The rain became heavier in the second half, drowning out the renowned French flair. Then a late tackle by Benson on Wilkinson all but sealed Le Bleu's fate. with the flanker becoming the second French player to see yellow.
Serge Betson, silly play. Not only he's let himself down, but he's let the whole of his French team down.
Wilkinson recovered to boot his team to an 8-point lead. And from there, England's massive forwards asserted their superiority and left the scoring up to their gifted fly half.
Wilkinson sizing up another drop goal. That's a hat-trick! Wilkinson 18, France 7.
Wilkinson finished with 24 points as his team registered an emphatic victory.
Fabien Galthié, you're obviously disappointed. Give me your reaction to your team's performance here.
Today, the best team win the match. We're under the pressure of the match. We can organize with this condition climatic. It was difficult for us, and England adapt better than us at the condition climatic. England has to win, and we are very disappointed. But the way of the game is for England.
So now there were just two teams standing, England and Australia, to play the final of the Rugby World Cup 2003. New Zealand and France to play off for third. In the playoff, France made 13 changes to the team that lost to England. New Zealand just one that went down to Australia, and the difference in firepower was soon evident.
New Zealand had the advantage here. This is Christian, and the big fellow thunders over for the first 5-pointer.
Howlett crossed for his 7th try to become the leading try scorer of the tournament, while France could only manage 2 drop goals until early in the second half.
Ilorga, the danger man, that is brilliant, formidable, and it's France hitting back.
Stung, New Zealand responded with 3 tries in 7 minutes. The third allowed Muliaina to join Howlett as leading try scorer with 7. New Zealand home 40-13 to claim 3rd place in World Cup 2003. After 44 days, the 48th and final match of the 2003 Rugby World Cup was played between Australia and England. Of people watching worldwide, the 2 captains led their teams out in front of 83,000 at a rain-sodden Telstra Stadium.
The 2 best teams in world rugby, these players facing the biggest opportunity of their lives. The mental rehearsals are now over. It's all down to one shot at glory and what has been the greatest event in the code's history.
Emotions flowed freely as the 2 sides sang their national anthems. Once the game started, English prop Trevor Woodman was a little bit too fired up, and soon after, fly half Stephen Larkham targeted English winger Jason Robinson.
Australia still have it. Mortlock's out wide. Here comes Takiri. He's only got to take it. Lottie, first try Australia. They were all watching Sterling Mortlock, and England caught short out wide.
You can see Lottie Takiri standing very wide. The England defence were very tight. Takiri just too big and strong over Robinson. Unbelievable try by Lottie Takiri to start the match.
And the beauty of what Lottie Dakiri did there was he never took his eye off the ball.
England replied with an 8-phase play that resulted in fly half Johnny Wilkinson bringing up his 100th point of the tournament.
The touch judges are happy. 2 points the difference at Telstra Stadium.
Larkham was forced from the field with a cut mouth, and his replacement, Matt Giteau, was given a thumping welcome. Wilkinson's second penalty then edged England ahead by 1.
Looks good. England have their nose in front.
There was plenty of concern when the star fly half stayed down after making a tackle. And then more angst for England when a try went begging.
England 7 metres out. The try's on. 2 on 1. And Kay knocks it on.
After a scrum penalty, Wilkinson showed no ill effects to give his team a 9-5 lead.
3 in a row for the boy wonder.
Inside centre, Mike Tyndall ran over the top of Wendell Saylor to put England back on the attack. And just before the break, the Wallabies were caught short on Saylor's wing once again.
Here's Delalio, the big man with a lovely pass to Wilkinson and Robinson. They won't catch him. Jason Robinson handballs it into the crowds. England with a lethal blow in the shadows of half-time.
Well, it was the 3rd or 4th phase. It's a good run early on by Will Greenwood. And then Delalio, look at him look inside, draw Saylor and pick up Wilkinson. And Wilkinson puts the ball out in front of Robinson. And he makes sure by sliding early through his 16th test try.
After the restart, a penalty for offside allowed Flatley to put the Wallabies back within 6. The power of England's scrum was clearly evident with this enormous shove. But while they were able to maintain good field position, they couldn't hang on to the ball.
Slipped it away to Hill. This is back. Greenwood flicked it backwards. And the referee able to spot the little knock on as they tried to pick it up.
Yet another infringement by England put the Wallabies back within 3. Then with 2 minutes remaining, referee Andre Watson penalised England, and it was down to Flatley to send the game into extra time.
It's extra time. 14-all. Elton Flatley, heroic kick under intense pressure.
Well, we've got 5 minutes for the players from both sides to get their thoughts, get the fluids collected, and then it's 10 minutes either way.
After 5 minutes rest, the battle continued with England's ace landing the first blow.
Wilkinson has got the distance. Unbelievable. 17-14.
England still led by 3 going into the second 10 minutes of extra time, but with 4 minutes to go, England committed another crucial infringement.
And Australia now with a penalty attempt. In discipline on 2 counts by England. Straight as a die. 17-all.
The match looked headed for sudden death extra time. However, Wilkinson had one last chance to win England the World Cup.
And England staying composed here. Wilson still in place for the drop goal. Australia come back. Here it is for Johnny. Has he done it? He sure has. Heartbreaker for the Wallabies. Seconds remaining. And that surely is the stairway to rugby heaven for England.
Sensational. Johnny Wilkinson off his right foot, his unfavoured right foot, 3 points. Woodward thinks he's got it. Look at Wilkinson, his composure. He knew it as he hit it.
Is this it? And England has joined Sir Alf Ramsey's Immortals of 1966. A dramatic, heart-stopping victory for England in extra time. And it was Johnny, 2017, the drop goal to sink the defending champions.
2017, and England a deserved winner.
Martin Johnson, after leading your country to the World Cup, I'm sure there are thousands here in the Telstra Stadium and millions around the world who would just like to say congratulations.
Thanks. You know, it was a huge effort from the entire squad of players. our backroom staff, our coaching, everyone, our physios. Thanks to the fans, they've been brilliant. You know, I can't say enough about the team. You know, we had a lead and we lost it, and to come back in extra time and to hold out and Will Coe at the end, you know, brilliant. I can't say enough about it.
Wallaby captain George Gregan, how do you sum up that match?
It was a massive final, wasn't it? We went into extra time, two world-class teams going in at hammer and tong. You know, congratulations must be extended to the English team. They delivered under pressure and they delivered when it counted. But I'm so proud of my guys. Like, we gutsed it out, we fought back, we were down 14-5, and we brought it back to extra time. To all the support here, both English fans and Australian fans. For us as players, it's a highlight of our career, and thank you for making it such a wonderful night.
What were your emotions as the match unfolded and the way it unfolded?
Well, my emotions, I was going nuts, to be fair, because we just kept getting ourselves into trouble, and I kept saying we'd be just making error after error, and we've won. Who cares what I thought? We won the World Cup. Fantastic.
David Kirk, Nick Farr-Jones, Francois Pina, John Eales, and now Martin Johnson. Two great locks leading their side to triumph in the last two World Cups.